Hello, everybody. It's Kathy here, and today we're going to be interviewing Maha El Moussa, who is a Palestinian Lebanese origin who was raised in Australia, and she's a wise birth oracle and award-winning international birth mentor, author, and speaker, as well as since 1997, she was the founder and creator of Embody Birth School, which teaches conscious childbirth education, which we're going to talk more about today, including her embody birth and belly dance birth information, which is fascinating. And just as a backstory, Maha gave birth to her third child at home with a full water lotus birth when she was 46 years of age, and has been featured in several worldwide media outlets, such as the Discovery Channel, CNN International, and many more, for her strong stance on natural term breastfeeding. And Maha's award-winning book, Dance of the Womb, The Essential Guide to Belly Dance for Pregnancy and Birth, is the world's first book to explore the enormous physical, emotional, and spiritual benefits of belly dance as a prenatal exercise and a process during labor, which I just think is fascinating. And the book has also been endorsed by renowned birth luminaries, including Dr. Michelle O'Donnell, the late Sheila Kitzinger, Dr. Sarah Buckley, and Dr. Christian Northrup. Martha offers her many years of profound knowledge and understandings from sharing her embody birth teachings. On the global platform, she has taught in about 6 countries, including Japan and USA, and I know her program's been particularly successful in China. Her work is just underpinned by her own lived experiences from her 4 pregnancies and her 3 as nature intended births. And she's also spoken at many birth conferences, including the Birth Keepers Summit USA, the Shandong Annual Midwifery Conference in China, and Human Rights in Childbirth Conference India. And today, what she's going to be talking about, teaching us about, is what Maha calls the 3 anchors, which is how the body, the baby, and innate primal wisdom meet that ancient art of belly dancing with our birth. So welcome, Maha.
Wow, thank you, Kathy. Thanks, everyone. Lovely to be here.
Yeah. So, please, tell us more about the program and really more about the, this combination of meeting together at that fork in the road of that baby and the body and belly dancing, the 3 Bs.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Well, the thing is that when I teach and in my work, it's all about interweaving the ancient elements, the spiritual elements, the human heart of birth. And I think today I'm coming to remind us all about coming back to the basics of the heart and the narrative that lives within our body that needs to reveal itself during birth, because birth gives us an opportunity to reveal the story that we carry from our mother line to the world. And that story becomes the gift. And I think we sometimes forget the potency of storytelling and sharing. And so for me, weaving together our body, the wisdom of the body, the somatic nature of the body, the living aware body, the awareness of the body, with that connection to our baby. So I talk about the psychic highway between a mother and a baby that flows when we are deeply listening on our journey, not to all the voices on the outside, but when we can connect deeply with the wisdom of the voice that lives within our body, which I call the living book. The living book is within, read her. And then that innate wisdom, that primal wisdom, that blueprint of birth that we all carry. It's a universal blueprint that sits within our womb wisdom. And that is what we are accessing and activating for birth. And so with our body, our baby, and that innate wisdom, we bring in the elements of movement, of dance, of belly dance birth. And we're not talking about cabaret style dance. So we're not out there dancing for an audience as though we're performing on stage. We are tuning in to that intuitive wisdom of our body and our baby through the beauty of the natural instinctive movements of belly dance birth. So as you mentioned, I come from Palestinian roots and Lebanese roots on my mother's side. So the dance is a very profound awareness within our cultural roots. So as women, we connect very deeply to that wisdom that lives within our womb through the dance. So, you know, I have a 12-year-old daughter that I birthed at home at 46. So for me to teach her about birth, I don't teach her from an intellectual place. I teach her from the body. So when I get up and I show her the beautiful fundamental movement of the circle, which is the foundational movement of belly dance birth, using that pelvic circle movement, relaxing into the muscles, the ligaments, the joints, connecting to my baby. And then I access and most importantly, activate that wisdom through the connection to the movement. So the circle movement is a very grounding, earthy movement, and it reminds us of what birth is all about, the gift of birth. So I let go of the outside, the external, all of those voices, and I come into my body and I connect deeply into my womb, into my pelvis with my baby, feet grounded to the earth, knees slightly bent, and then I can begin pelvic rock forward and back, forward and back. And what we are doing is we are starting to slow down. We are starting to become present to our own body wisdom, our own knowing, our own living book, our own awareness, because all of us are unique on the same journey. We're all birthing, but we all have a unique story. And as I say, the song and dance of birth is unique to us. So that circle movement of the belly dance birth will remind us of our innate primal wisdom. It will remind us of our connection to the earth, to nature, to the shapes within nature. And then the spiral movement, the figure eight movement. So all of these pelvic movements that actually move through the body, and then we bring in the hands and the arms and the chest movements. And so we are creating our own birthing dance whilst pregnant. So we open up those channels during the prenatal time. So we open up that awareness and we activate the wisdom. So that is the beauty of belly dance birth, because it really brings us back to the basics. Because when we are down on all fours in birth, we are not going to be thinking about, you know, evidence-based or what the doctor told me or what we have to come down into our body. And we say in embodied birth, the baby doesn't come out of your head. The baby comes out of your yoni, your pelvis, your vagina. Get down to earth. So we need to be able to do practices and preparation that bring us to those places. And also, what the beauty of the belly dance birth is that we don't need someone to tell us necessarily where is your baby lying, because you've opened that instinctive casket, that intuitive carriageway, that gateway. You can then intuit, where is my baby lying? Because you're connected, you're aware, you've activated, you've accessed. So now I get to be my own midwife. I am now with my own woman, first and foremost. So then I'm centered at the center of the experience as the expert. That doesn't mean that anyone else is not relevant, but I'm putting myself with my baby, my wisdom, my body at the center. And then I move into that central place as the expert with my expertise. And that is the beauty of the basics of belly dance birth, is being able to direct the flow of my own journey, of my own knowing, without the need for this fear that I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, you do. Your body knows how to give birth, not as an intellectual process, which is what women get taught. It's about coming back into the somatic value of the body, breath, and movement. Baby.
Oh, that's just absolutely
That's,
beautiful, Maha. I've
yes.
just been sitting here riveted, listening to your descriptions, because they just so resonate. And, when you see women who are in labor and they're deeply in that place and they're just rocking themselves through it, it is absolutely stunning. I always call it the goddess moments, and this look just comes over their faces that is angelic. It's amazing, isn't it, to watch?
Yes.
So when I find that sometimes with the second time mothers, they're kind of like, right, I'm going to fully engage this time because I'm not going through what I went through last time. And they really can be very open to fresh ideas. But with your primates, with those first time mothers to be, when do you feel that they need to be starting to, I mean, obviously, ideally through the whole pregnancy, but often they sort of so focused on work and baby showers and reveal parties and all these other things. When do you find that you really need to sort of get them to just focus? Is it, I sort of find usually the beginning of the third trimester, they just sort of realize this, they've got to think about the fact this baby's coming out.
Yes, true. I mean, I'm always saying dance is at any time, but usually from second trimester forward. And as you say, women start to around that 32, 34 weeks and it's also because the body itself is expanding. So the awareness expands, the psychic body expands, the energetic body expands. So it's like being tapped on the shoulder because those layers are being activated within the body through the physical expansion and the growth of baby. So it's this whole integration that's going on. So really, I mean, for me, I leave it up to the mother to make that decision, but we'll gently guide her and give her some of these, skills and opportunities to come in and connect through the dance. And that's the way that I do it, because I feel the dance is very potent and powerful. And I have taught women who have come at like 39 weeks. I've even had women who've come in early labor to a class and they haven't done much preparation. They come for an hour and they say, that's it. I know what I'm doing. This is all I need. So it works fast. And that's what I love about belly dance birth. It's not necessarily some long road that you have to take. And, it can work quickly, or it can be that languid, peaceful, calm transition through the stages of labor, of pregnancy, and then into labor. And that's
because often when the women are at that later stage, they are so open to learning at that point. They're like a sponge, aren't they? They want to know it all.
Yes,
and I think that happened a lot with women with the COVID lockdowns. We suddenly women who absolutely had no intention of not being in hospital with an epidural, and now they're going, oh, I need to give birth at home, and I hadn't even contemplated doing that. So, and amazing how those women just transitioned and completely got themselves into that different headspace very quickly.
Yes, exactly. And it's the headspace and then letting go of that. And we say in embody birth, know all, and then let it all go. And so for me, what's really important is for women to also be reminded that the mystery is valuable, to actually not know everything, to be able to stand in that field of the unknown. And that's, I think, lacking in childbirth education. We are so desperate to give everything and to make sure. But then it's about letting that go. And when we do, the energetic field opens. And then, as I talk about, I have a 360-degree vision. What's in front of me? What's behind me? And what is to the side of me? What is birth gifting me? What is this baby gifting me? What is this experience showing me? What am I transforming into? What am I letting go of? What am I healing in my mother line? These are the questions that are important to me through belly dance birth and the work that I do. And so it's more,
Oh, it's just beautiful.
yes, spiritual.
We've run out of time,
Yes,
Maha,
that's all.
but look, and I love those words that you said, you know, about it's about embracing the fact that you're not going to know it all.
No,
And that's the whole wonderful thing about it.
exactly.
And if there's one thing predictable about birth, it's not predictable.
No.
So let it go.
Let it
And
go.
just wonderful, just wonderful. Well, look, there's obviously information on our platform here about ways to get hold of you and to talk into deeper information about this. But thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time. And I really could just listen to you for hours, but thank you very, very much.
Mama
Bye,
stay.
Maha.
Mama stay.
Namaste, yes.